Hey everyone, I got a very exciting video for you today. We are going to look one rental time in a mirror. We're going to look at what it is, and we're going to talk about what it could be. And this is something I've been looking forward to now for several weeks. So let's welcome Stace to the show. How you doing, man?
I am doing great. I am looking forward to this. Not every day I get to critique somebody's website live in front of a large audience, but
Yeah.
I'll be kind.
Yeah. No, you can tear it apart. Again, I think if you haven't watched the first episode, that's really what the purpose of a website is. As you will see in that video, I checked one box really well, right? I'm a human being, I'm real,
That's
but
right.
it's that's about the only good part I got. So, and that's okay. One rental at a time is meant to help people. It needs to be more. And I'm bringing the expert to bear here. So let's see, Stacy. I'm going to turn this over to you now and let you drive this, and I'm going to take some notes.
Fantastic. So anybody who's watching this, we're going to do a screen share now. Anybody who's listening, I'm going to do the best I can to describe where we are on the site. And if you want to watch it later on YouTube, that'd be helpful if you're looking for ways to improve your own website so that you'll get more traffic and generate more revenue from your site. It'll be a good tutorial for you. So Michael, let me know you're seeing
Yep,
your
that's
site
it.
here.
That's my
Yeah.
lovely
Okay.
site.
So we're going to do two things here. We're going to talk about, we're going to go through the site, a little bit of critique. We're going to tell you like different elements of your website, what it should be doing. And we're going to do some before and after. I'm going to just give some suggestions to Michael. He's going to take some notes. And if anybody has any questions, you can always email me at stace@trustdeepagency.com about your own website or your own marketing strategy or plan, like anything like that. So first thing they're asking themselves is this a place where I'm going to find an answer to the challenge that I have? Does this website do the job that I need to be done? And so the first thing I would say, Michael, here is that the first thing I see is one rental at a time. So I typed that into the Google machine, or I searched it, and I don't need necessarily to see that as the headline here because you're using like the prime piece of real estate to talk about yourself. So you've got your logo up there in the top, the pink house, the very
Purple house.
Purple house. Sorry, it is very iconic and it catches your eye. So you can actually lock up your name with the logo together up there. So you would free up this space to give a message to people who are here, because like your brand has a wonderful mission to help people realize that they have the power to change their financial future by investing in real estate one rental at a time. There's this idea of consistency. There's this idea of approachability. Everybody could do it, but I'm not seeing that here. So the first thing I see is your name. And so typically we want to talk about our customers' need. We don't necessarily want to talk about us at first. That would be one suggestion, having a positioning statement there that talks all about your customers' need. For anybody who's listening, think about what your customers need from you, not necessarily what you deliver. You have to put yourself in their shoes and ask, like, what are the problems that are running through their mind, and how can I reassure them in the first few seconds that this is a place that they're going to find those answers. So that's what I would suggest here. The next thing, the journey to financial independence through real estate. So I think anybody could say that your brand is very specific in the way that you help people along that journey to financial independence through real estate. So I would be a little more specific here about what you do. So you do it through consistency. You do it through measurable steps. You do it through a proven process. Like any of those things that might reassure me that I'm going to get closer to my goal. Not that just my goal exists. I mean, they roll in here and people know that they have a goal, but they need to understand how they're going to get there and why you are better than anyone else at providing that. So this, you got to think about this, the first, I call this the hero module of your website. It has a really important job to do. It's like a firm handshake and like your elevator pitch, like when you first meet somebody and you're going to tell them what you do and how you can bring value to their lives. That's what this thing has to do here.
I love it. It does not do that at all. And you're right. I'm using this prime real estate above the fold, to use a newspaper term, pretty poorly.
Yeah. Something else though, in the button here, get in touch. So I didn't come to your website to get in touch with you. I came to your website to solve a problem I have.
You're right.
And but you can still have that button there, but you just have to position it in the way that helps people understand that you're the guy who's going to make that problem going away. Getting in touch with you doesn't make my problem go away. If it were like start your journey, or find the secret, or whatever it might be, it's like, okay, now I understand, like, this click is going to be valuable to me. It's not because, like, get in touch sounds like I'm going to help Michael if I get in touch, and I'm not here to help Michael. I'm here to help myself.
I like it.
Yeah. I would scroll down here. So we have this little welcome section here. And I would actually throw this away. The idea of it is wonderful, but I just think the execution isn't right. So actually, if I scroll down a little bit further, way here at the bottom, you've got this wonderful welcome video. This is what I would move this up, because people want to see you. So if I've seen your podcast, I've heard your voice, I've heard your insights. When I come to the site, I want reassurance that this is the same Michael Zuber who I've been following, listening to, enjoying, for whatever time I've been listening. I'd move this video up because, like, I don't think people will scroll down and find this here. But it's a great video that shows your personality. You describe the benefits people get, and you're just so reassuring here. And that's what your brand is all about. You're not big and boastful talking about the Learjet that you have, or the Ferrari that you drive, or how you've got 6 Rolexes. I mean, that's not your brand. There are certain real estate guys who do that. You don't. This video talks about you, and it really encapsulates what you're all about. So I love it, but I would just move it.
Okay, I like that.
Let's see. I took some notes here. So so this meet Michael Zuber, I like this because you're a real guy. And when you talk about having retired early from your W-2, your day job, like, that's an aspiration that I have, and I bet everybody listening has, if they haven't already done it. So I look at this photo and I'm like, Michael's done it. I want to be like Michael. I would suggest maybe either a professional photo, or a photo that's just maybe a little bit more composed. So there's an art to photography, just like there's an art to writing. There's an art to being an architect, right? So that's one thing I might change here, is just make this a little bit more professional looking. And I think I did see like a typo or two in one of these descriptions.
Probably wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, but you want to proofread your whatever you write. So if you're creating your own website, the first thing I would say is, don't, like, have somebody help you.
Yeah, exactly. Don't.
But somebody has to proofread it. So if you've written it yourself, you cannot proofread it. You have to have somebody else to proofread it. And here's the thing: there's this thing that happens called slippage, where we think we see words there that we've written because we have the thought in our head, but we don't see the words might not be there, but we read them as though they're there. Somebody who didn't write it can read it and spot the error immediately. So if you've written your own website, if you've written the copy on your own website, have somebody else take a look at it for you, and they can probably spot any errors that you have, because you don't have to be Shakespeare, but there's no reason to have any typos or anything like that.
I agree.
This paragraph, it's so far down on this page, but it's critical. So it's like, our goal is to help create financial independent individuals out of everyone who follows our content and supports us. So that's your mission. I would want to see that either in the video a little further ahead of, higher on the page, or if you can move this up, maybe before Michael Zuber, because like Michael Zuber is about you. This is about what you can do for people. I would flip-flop those. Okay. And of course, your cute dog here. That's wonderful to see that. Let's see here. I'm gonna scroll down, and I'm gonna bring some harsh reality to you here.
Yeah. No, please.
I don't know that it's the #1 book on buy and hold real estate.
Yeah. No, it was. Yeah. That needs to be corrected. It was a #1 bestseller. When it came out on Amazon. I have the screenshot. Yeah.
See, that is fantastic. So I would have that here. But there's this thing about credibility that we can
You're
build
right.
credibility slowly. We can kill it quickly.
Yeah, that's true.
It it's not a huge thing, but if you're going to make a claim, like if you say 89% of people love my cooking, well,
Yeah.
you better tell me who these 89
Yeah.
89% of people are. I mean, like, because
Yeah,
you're
you're
making a
right.
claim that's going to try and encourage me to buy something. But if it's a claim that doesn't really affect anything, that's one thing. But something like this,
Yeah, you're
um,
right. Yep. And
because
again,
then
that shows you how old it is. We have 329 five-star reviews now.
see, we're
Yeah.
gonna get to the reviews in a minute. But yeah, so that's one thing. So that doesn't jibe with the number
Hmm.
one. So I would expect the number one buy and hold real estate book to have more than that. So that's just something people
Yeah,
people
you're right.
would see. And I would turn up the volume on this. Learn more. I don't want to learn more. I want to buy it. So I would change
Ah,
that.
okay.
Just get that to so that people can go right to it and they know what they're going to do
Yeah.
to buy. Because most likely, if somebody's landed on this site, they already know you, they know your personality, they know your brand, they love what you do. Encourage them to buy it.
Okay.
Courses. So something I would like to see here is instead of find out more, and so when I click this button, I have the opportunity to take this free course. So if your listeners don't know, Michael offers 2 courses here. There's a free one, it's a beginner course, and then there's an advanced course, and there's a nominal fee for that. But the beginner course is absolutely free. Michael is giving it away here, and I want to tell him. So what I would do, and for anybody out there, if you're giving away something really valuable for free, ask for something in exchange. Ask for people's email address so that you can market to them, so you can get in touch with them later. So, Michael, I would say put this up behind a wall where people have to first give you their email address before they get this free course. It's easy, and it's like I would absolutely do that to get this free course. Give you my email address, and I don't mind if you market to me, because once I get this and I see that you're legit, you know what you're talking about, and you're helping me,
Hmm.
I will read your blog post or whatever you send to me.
Yeah, the good news there is that occurs. You can't if you click that button and it takes you, I think it takes you to the Teachable site. You can't get the free course unless you give your email. It's
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
so
So,
that is occurring. And I can
oh,
market
awesome.
to that list. But it is
Okay.
in Teachable. So the only place I collect email address, and it's not on purpose, it's just how their platform works, is Teachable. So with the registration of a free course, I get an email, or obviously the paid course, and I can market to each list individually or together.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is occurring.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. One thing I would recommend on the descriptions here is to make them a little bit more evocative
Okay.
about like the benefits that I'm going to get. So if we look at the title, excuse me, the description of the advanced course will go into great detail regarding the 5 very simple but effective steps. Okay, so that's a feature. It's not a benefit. A lot of times we see things marketed with the features and not the benefits. Like we buy benefits, we don't buy features. Uh,
Agreed.
so even if you were to talk about like, so you do talk about financial independence. I would just bubble that up and,
Yeah, I should be putting something like, start the journey with as little as 10 to 20 minutes a day, or, something like that.
yeah, that's the thing that you offer, that's what makes you different. That
Yep.
differentiates your brand from others, and that's the thing that makes your students successful is
Correct.
that message that
Daily,
you keep.
consistent execution. Yep.
Yeah, that should be here. And the t-shirts, have you ever so I don't know. The t-shirts here, I don't know. Have you sold any of these? Is this
It's just a couple. Actually, the hats get sold more than anything.
hats? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So I'm gonna
Yeah, those can come off. I'm actually probably going to turn those off, but yeah.
all right. So if anybody wants a t-shirt, now's the time to get it before Michael turns it off. Okay. So this about section, I love it.
Oh, good.
Not only because we're the same age approximately, but
Nice.
but the thing is that you are the face of your brand.
Yep.
If you were to go away, the brand probably wouldn't be as what it is today. Like if you were to sell this and then you go and retire in Kauai or something, it, it wouldn't be the same without you. That's why it's so important that you have this here, and you describe that you are a real person. You've done this, and you were in the same position I was like years ago. You're like, oh, I'd really like to do this. How do I do it? I found a plan, but now let me share it with other people. Fantastic. I love this thing, and I love the picture of Jimbo again there.
Mhm.
There's Jimbo, and so let's see, what other notes did I? Oh, here's the thing. If this was a website that was selling shoes, we'd expect to see pictures of shoes. If it were a website for a restaurant, we'd expect to see pictures of food. I don't see a picture of any properties in your portfolio here.
Ah, yeah, that's true.
So I know you have a large portfolio that
Mhm.
you've built over the past number of years.
Yep.
I would like to see some of those here. If there were a carousel, it's like it makes it more real to me. It's like, okay, this is what he's done. Or if there was like, I don't know if you've done any like a fix and flip. It's like, oh, before and after. You don't even need to go to that detail. But if I just see these real buildings, I'm like, oh, and if you said I bought this in this date, and then if it were like a timeline, even
Mm.
like this is my first one, this is the 10th one, this is the 5th one, this is the 50th one, like whatever numbers you want to show that there's this progression, because that's what you're about, is the progression.
Mhm.
And you put the date next to it, and I'm like, oh, this is how I do it. He's done it. I can do it.
Okay. I like it.
Okay.
Definitely.
Now, review section. My friend, we've come to an area where we need some help.
Yeah, no kidding, huh?
So these are some decent reviews here. If I click through, okay, are you seeing the Amazon
I am,
page
yep.
right?
I am, yep.
All right, let's read the first review.
Yeah, yeah, that's the only 1 star I have.
Yeah, but unfortunately, 76 people found it helpful.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I wonder if, like, so I don't know what we can do to change this. I'm not saying that we would get rid of the guys.
No, yeah, yeah.
But I mean, what have you considered ever having this guy on the show?
I've tried to reach out to him. I've actually did a video on it. Help me find him.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then,
No,
that would be
takers.
awesome, though.
Yeah.
Because maybe there are things you can learn from him, because he talks about having come from like a real estate family, I think. And so, but if anybody's listening to this and not watching it, so the first review that comes up, the top review is a 1-star review for Michael's book, and it says, reads like a drunken bar story. And it's from
Yeah.
April of 2019. It's a verified purchase. Obviously, the guy bought it, but he's like really critical of the book, which, okay, that's his opinion. I just don't like that Michael's book, otherwise, which has a fantastic rating, is has this at the top. So you have to stay on top of your marketing. So when we have when now that we're in the era of social media and we've got reviews and everything, you are handing over a part of your marketing strategy to your customers, so, and you have to be in control of that. You have to be on top of it, and you have to see what people are doing, what they're saying, and reach out to them. Like Michael has tried to reach out to whoever that was who wrote this. His name is Daniel Hennessy. I mean, like, whoever that guy is, I mean, Michael's doing the right things to try and get in touch with him. But it's just like a really odd review. It almost seems like personal, but
yeah. So again, I spent a bunch of time. So I saw this on April 20th, because at the time I was looking at my reviews every day. Near as I can tell, talking to others in the game, this person probably has written their own book, is what we are thinking, and was didn't like the fact that because I think at the time that his review came in, we had like 155-star reviews, and we think he didn't like that. And because actually, if you read the review, if you go into that review, I actually did a video response. Like, can you go in? Like, is there a point that says like comment? No.
Oh, where is it?
I think down below at the bottom it says comment. Like, I can comment on his comment or something.
Oh, right. Okay, so comment, and then we'll scroll down. Yeah. Okay.
So 6 comments. Yeah. So I actually, so you can see.
Yeah. So somebody said, put some current data on your success. The only blurb I got was he quit the 9-to-5 job and not motivated to buy the book yet. Okay. So Richie Vegas, 16 days ago posted this. I'm guessing he's talking about you. So
yeah, he is. I didn't see that one, but yeah, there's my response is below. But yeah.
Yeah.
So right there, M. Zuber 1 year ago.
Yeah.
Okay, I read all my reviews.
Oh yeah. So given this is my only 5-star review, I felt should address each of the points about in the 20-minute video. So that is fantastic. Not many marketers will do that, but feedback. Our buddy Greg Dickerson. He talks about feedback being the breakfast of champions.
Yeah.
So what people are saying here, just take it with a with a grain of salt, and see if there's a way that you can incorporate some of that and see is it real. So
Yeah. So let's talk about that, because one of the things I want to stay away from, and it's just not who I am, is anything that's perceived as bragging. That's something that turns me off in a big way. So I think talking about 200 units, $1 million in income, the ability to replace 2 6-figure incomes, all of that stuff borders on bragging and look at me. I don't want it about me. I want to show what's possible. I want to show it's easy. It's a step-by-step process. Yes, I could show a 6-figure car. Yes, I could show a 7-carat ring. I could show some really cool shit, but that's just not who I am.
That's right. So those things aren't, so the outcomes aren't comfortable. They don't jibe with your brand. And it's really great to realize that. But I wonder if there are data points that can help. Like if you were to talk about the trajectory, you started with 1, then you had 2, and then you had 4, and then, if you would start with the growth of that. And so even if you don't put like so if you didn't list the number of units, like if you didn't have the total, you don't have to list your net worth. But if there's some way to show that, use it in a way that doesn't pat you on the back.
There's certainly some things we could do. I chose, instead of trying to figure it out and thread the needle, I just chose to ignore it. Right. Yeah. So there are lots of people that click on videos and books because a guy or gal is standing next to a Ferrari.
Yeah.
I have a very, very nice car. I could do the same thing, but I don't want those clicks. I don't want somebody that's just going to come and look at it and go, oh, I wish I could do that. I don't want that. I want somebody who is ready to make a commitment and change their lives. I'm willing to give up the clicks. I don't need that. All right. I don't need the validation from, teenagers going, oh my God, look at his nice car. I want to be him. That shit annoys me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. In that you recognize that and that you make that an active part of what you're doing. You're true. So one of the 4 components of trust, and that's something we talk about at our agency is building trust. One of the components is credibility. Part of your credibility is your integrity. Integrity is how closely your actions align with your values, and your actions align perfectly with your values in this situation. So I want to compliment you on that, because it's not every day we see examples of that. I mean, like tons of people with integrity all day long, but this is a living example of it. I just wanted to point that out.
Yeah, I mean, just to close on that topic, there have been people literally over the last couple of years that have told me, hey, you should do this or that, go rent a private jet, go do. And I'm like, dude, I will shut my shit down before I do any of that. I mean, that is so not the way I want to go. Right. Yeah. So cool. Yeah. I'm glad it's okay.
Yeah, it's good stuff. So the last thing I wanted to touch on is, let's see, what notes? We talked about the blog. You haven't updated the blog in a while. I would update that more frequently, just so that Google knows that it's still an active site. But
let's talk about that. So the blog is something I added sort of second. So I have, just so you know, I have somebody that takes my YouTube videos, everyone over 5 minutes, and converts them to audio. So that's where the podcast comes from. Mm-hmm. What he said to me is, hey, I could take 1 video a week, and I don't know, through some technical gobbledygook, I can turn it into a blog. That's what basically this is. I didn't like the outcome, right? It didn't have my voice. The way I talk is not how I write. Mm-hmm. So I don't know that I would do a blog again if we're going to go to the next steps, but having 2 videos a week from YouTube come here, or have categories here, would be far better, better. Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah. But again, I'm just thinking out loud. If the written word is a must, then yeah, I mean, I write for a magazine called Think Realty probably 6 times a year. So I can write, mm-hmm. As you've already seen, it's not wonderful, but it's me, it's authentic.
You know what? So this is something I do for another one of my clients who he gets quoted in a lot of business journals. So every time there's a quote, we will pull it in. So obviously they're the blog posts we do on his website, but then we'll pull in the quote from wherever he was quoted, and we put it in the context. It's like, this isn't necessarily his article, but he's quoted in it. We give a little bit of context. But if you're writing those articles, and I mean, I'm sure the publication would love to have it here as well, because it's gonna link back to their site. So
Think Realty. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this year I've been in 7 of their magazines.
That's huge.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah, and so like exactly like you're saying. So if it doesn't feel comfortable to you to write a blog post here, then you don't necessarily have to do that. But you do need some words here, and that because Google doesn't scrub through videos for search engine optimization.
So then maybe it's the articles that. Okay, I get it. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. So the last thing I wanted to talk about on this chapter of this three-part series that we're doing here is the get in touch page. And this is really important, because if you get somebody to this page and they're about to email you, you've got them right at the edge of getting in touch with you. And that's a huge deal to get people to do that. It takes energy, but you're going to get something of value, their email address, and you're going to get the opportunity to work with them or sell them something or introduce them to your podcast. So it really matters. I need a reason though here. Get in touch, drop us a line. I don't know why I'm doing this. It sounds like I'm helping Michael again.
Yeah.
So
and another sad fact is I get their email address, but I'm not saving them anywhere. I don't know how to do that. Yeah. I mean, and again, as you would expect, just like every comment on the videos, I answer every one of these emails, but I'm not saving them. I'm not creating some list or anything. So probably absolutely another mistake.
Yeah. And so so for your listeners, email marketing is one of the most powerful marketing methods that we have these days. It actually works. Like, for the effort that goes into it and the results that come out of it, it has good ROI. So don't discount email marketing. We all still have email addresses. Everybody still checks their email multiple times a day.
For sure.
And I don't even think, Michael, I don't think it changes for demographic. I mean, I have kids who are in their teens and they have email addresses. Of course, they're in school, so they don't have jobs or anything like that. But like, everybody is using email still.
You're right. Yep.
So that was the last thing I wanted to talk about here in this segment of this 3-part series. The next segment, I want to talk in general about what people can do, what your listeners can do if they're starting a business or if they have an existing business and want to understand more how they can have a better marketing presence.
Very cool. Well, do me a favor, Stace, and stop sharing.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, thank you very much for doing that. That was a lot of work you went through. I appreciate all the examples. It really makes it. I mean, everything there was just spot on. I appreciate the time, and there's lots of things we could do to make this better. So thank you very much.
Absolutely. And it's like, so that sort of audit is something that we do for potential clients or anybody who wants to get that insight or like an outside perspective. If anybody's interested, our website is trustdeepagency.com. Just get in touch with us and we can give you the same going over we did Michael's website.
And again, folks, if you're an entrepreneur and again, you're like me, you check the box, you need to take them up on that. Give them the website one more time, Stace.
Trustdeepagency.com.
Very cool. Thank you very much, man.
Yeah. Take care.